Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be Game 7 from a best of 7 between HyperONE and CharatcR. Played in a tournament of some kind. He sent this replay to Sniper Monkey for the Midrank Madness. And it got selected, so here we are. I checked HyperONE's YouTube channel to see if he cast the whole tournament or maybe the series, but I couldn't find anything. So HyperONE, if you have video of the other games, let me know and I'll link it in the description here. So top left of hard lead is going to be HyperONE, and the bottom right it's going to be CharatcR. These two players have a history, man, a long one. They played a lot of games together. They played some games on my channel together. Some really fun 1v1s on some weird maps involving, you know, neutral missile turrets and crazy stuff like that. HyperONE has sent me, as he hatched firsts here, some other stuff. Some other replays of crazy map ideas. So I'm probably going to go ahead and cast at least one of those. See what the response is to that. Are you guys interested in seeing kind of new possible ideas floated out about maps? Like healing beacons, for example. Like one of the things that HyperONE mentioned when he sent me those over Discord was that there are healing beacons on the map that only work for ground units. But if you touch the beacon with a unit, it gets healed up to full. Like for Zerg, I can see that being awesome. There's transfuses there, obviously. I don't know. Medevacs for Terran make them maybe a little bit useless. I don't know. Regardless, one base opener here from CharatcR. He is going in for a barracks, in for a factory, and reactoring up his barracks too. So Terry's job, as far as scouting, there's not a base coming up here, is really, really important right now. Extractor pool on the way from HyperONE. Double gas from CharatcR if you're one basing and getting a super fast factory. What's the plan? Is he going to try to use the new Cyclone here? Because this is on the new patch, because it's on a new map, hard lead, obviously. So we're going to have the new Cyclone, which in some ways I don't think is as good as the old Cyclone, but in other ways is better than the old Cyclone. The lock-on ability doesn't have a cooldown anymore. It's kind of nuts. Like it finishes, and then bam, you can do an immediate lockdown. But the range is worse, and the damage is worse, and you're not doing bonus damage versus armored anymore. It's bonus against mechanical now. So it's kind of better against Protoss than it is against Zerg. Which is interesting. Anyway, what are we doing here? Yeah, double pumping out Cyclones, tech labbing the barracks, and then throwing up another factory. This is very interesting. And then just a blind third base here from HyperONE. HyperONE's like, huh, you don't have a second base? A Reaper hasn't shown up. I guess you know what it's time for? It's time for a third base. I feel like it's a little bit dangerous. If your opponent is trying to one base you and you're going for a third, you might just have nothing but drones when they show up to murder you. So there are some links in production and speed's on the way. So I mean, HyperONE's not skipping out on stuff. He's recently reached Masters as random, which is impressive stuff. So HyperONE's definitely leveled up since the last time I think we cast him in a 1v1. And be sure to check out his YouTube channel. I'll link to it in the description here. If you want more StarCraft 2 content, weird stuff, right? Maybe there are some shorter videos there too. I'm not sure if they're officially YouTube shorts or not, but they are shorter if you're interested in that. Floating the barracks indicates mech, right? The thing about these guys is that Lings are still really good against them, but maybe not when there's, 8 Zerglings and 4 Cyclones. The ratio doesn't make any sense there. So now watch. Here's the lock-on. Wait, are they just basic? I guess they're just basic attacking it. Yeah, okay. They're just basic attacking it here. Oh, nope. Did lock-on wear off? And then we can do it again. Yeah, okay. That lasts a lot longer than I thought it did. Wow. All right. Well, these rocks are knocked down. Congratulations. The early Cyclones were scouted. More Lings on the way. I mean, honestly, that's all you really need. Maybe more Lings, though, than this? Yeah, okay. Back it out. Back it out. Getting the movement speed upgrade for Cyclones here. Gotta love that. And an armory coming in, too, for upgrades on these guys. Or we're just mass cycloning against the Zerg player. We saw this work for Gumio in GSL recently. He did it against Solar. Solar tried to go, or maybe it was Sue. Either way, I think they both try to implement mutas, right? They try to go mutalisks against this. It went pretty poorly for them. I don't think they had quite play-tested that out yet. And this third base is probably going to die. Oh, no. He's right up at the Lings coming down here. They did pick off a Cyclone. But I mean, what? 24 Lings have died. 27 Lings have died. And a Cyclone has gone down. This is not good for HyperONE. Lings, I feel like, are kind of the answer, but he's getting out macroed. And he's only got 31 to 29 workers. And his third base is dead. Dude. So yeah, officially this is a Midrank Madness game. Sent to Sniper Monkey at the email address in the description. Oh no, they're harassing this poor Ursadak calf. Get away from him. Or her. I don't know. So if you want me to cast your Midrank Madness game, make sure it's gold, platinum, or diamond. Send it to Falcon Paladin at Gmail. No, sorry. Gosh dang it. Send it to Sniper Monkey, as these Lings do get a nice surround. This is what HyperONE was going for. Yeah, see, this is where bonus versus mechanical doesn't help against Lings, turns out. Bonus versus armor didn't help against Lings either. So yeah, the mortal enemy of the Cyclone has been the Ling for a long time. Barracks is going to die, which sucks because you need another barracks to build more factories, which, I mean, based on what we're producing here from character, he's probably going to want more factories. Building a second base in there. But back to what I was saying. If you want me to cast your Midrank Madness replay, send it to Sniper Monkey at the email address in the description with the subject of Midrank Madness. Make sure it's gold, platinum, or diamond. Make sure it's interesting in some way. Like, don't just send me, I don't know, like a Baneling bust, or a game where you as a Terran drop the enemy's main base and they died immediately. Like, let's make sure it's kind of a nice back and forth. If you're highlighting some of the newer units available in the new, newer reworked units in the new patch, that'll help you as well. Righto. Infernal Pre-Igniter on the way. Oh, made some, there was a Baneling nest. Baneling against Hellions are, oh gosh, really good. Ah, the door didn't get open. Oh, shut rather. Did not shut the door, and oh man, I don't know about this from character. He's still doing okay on worker count, and he's going to survive this attack. Zerg is making 18 more Lings, and has a fourth base, and has replaced the third base. So this is a 4-base versus a 2-base scenario. But it's just Mass Ling and Bane against now Blue Flame Hellions. Now the tide has turned. See, this is what I'm talking about. If HyperONE had just one right there, that's not a good game, I don't think. Like, deal with one Cyclone attack and then counterattack defeats the Terran player. It's like, But see, holding against the counter, and now there's another counter, and the Blue Flame's going to deal with these Lings really well. And now suddenly you've got more of a more difficult mech composition to deal with, right? Where the Blue Flame is dealing with the Lings that would normally deal with everything else in mech, like Thors and tanks and Cyclones, let's be honest. But if there's enough Blue Flame Hellions here, or Hellbats in particular, the Lings just melt. And they cannot be used to handle what would otherwise be a really easy composition for them to deal with. Although, I don't know, if you just move your Hellions past... Oh, look at these Hellions. Look at these Lings. Oh, gosh, no. Banelings! Okay, fine connection, but man, 2 Blue Flame Hellions can do some serious work. But HyperONE's flooding, man. He is making drones too. He's got 42 of them. Oh, that Hellion does end up going down, but 2 more Hellions popping out, shutting it down, man. And HyperONE just made a billion more Zerglings. He's got 31 of them. What I don't understand is he's got an armory, right? So he's got the Hellbat transformation. I would Hellbat these. Honestly, Hellbats against Lings in a situation like this are way better. Their splash damage arc is way stronger, but okay, that worked. This Banshee is casually racking up kill after kill. 4 kills there. Third base landed from character. And 44 Lings on the way. Tell me you're getting them attack upgrades. No attack upgrades. No armor upgrades. Unupgraded speedlings for the win, says HyperONE. I disagree. Engineering Bay coming in. I don't know, man. I really am not sure what HyperONE's trying to do here. Teching into almost anything. Mutas would be kind of incredible here, right? You've got like 12 mutas out. They could wipe out these Cyclones, and then nothing else shoots mutas, and it'd be amazing. Oh gosh, this third base. Character! I feel like you've been better in the games of yours I've cast, my friend. Why is this command center not anything? Why is it not an orbital? Why is it not a planetary? Why is it just sitting here? Why are these not Hellbats? In defensive positions... Hellbats are amazing. Or in offensive positions, getting inside a mineral line, Hellbats are amazing. Middle of the map, right? When you're moving out or retreating, Hellions are better. But if you just want pure blue flame cone of death output, Hellbats are the way to go. Wow, +3 mech armor here. Again, none of this stuff does bonus damage to queens. I almost feel like mass queen. No, they're target firing the queens and the lings are getting... Ah! That was really bad. That was really bad. Your Hellions are attacking these queens. They're shrugging the damage off because they're not light. They don't take bonus damage from Hellions or anything. Ooh, planetary up. Okay, is up at the third base. And then the lings are able to kill the Hellions because the Hellions aren't killing the lings. Absolutely brutal. Planetary casually has 12 kills. Very happy about that. Creep spread from HyperONE's pretty good. He's making 40 lings. He's finally working on +1/+1 for those lings and getting a Hydra Den and an Infestation Pit and a Hydralisk Den all at the same time. Ooh, Hellbats. Hellbats in production. Here we go. They are here with their flamethrowers and their little shields that they hide behind. No, no, go back. Arrgh. Okay. HyperONE is a Zerg after my own heart. Lings are lings, man. They're fun, but there we go. Hellbats. Blue Flame Hellbats. Roosh. Roosh. 8 kills. 4 kills. 9 kills. 6 kills. This Hellbat dies. Dude, get over there. Help. Help. This feels like some kind of a StarCraft cinematic or some kind of a campaign mission where it's like deal with the mass Zergling onslaught as well as you can. Hellbat's surprisingly good against queens, especially if they've got +3 armor. Oh, +2. Almost +3 armor. The queens are 0/0/0, man. We are not having a good time with that. So queen's going to die to Hellbat, which is embarrassing. These, again, Hellbats on the other side of the map. What did I tell ya? They do all right. This Hellbat has a queen kill. 6 other get in there, guy. I know it's hard to control multiple voices at once. Drones have to fight that Hellbat. Multiples of them get roasted up. Ooh, there's Hydras now. Excellent. The Hydra Den we saw is paying off for HyperONE. Character's got a 4th base coming up. Yeah, I feel like this game, when character was pinned into one base, HyperONE went for the jugular with Zerglings and Banelings, and it did not work out. And now we're kind of more in an even position, right? HyperONE's up, yes, but not as much as you want to be against a Terran player who's meching, man. Also, now that your opponent is building... Nice auto turret harass. Now that your opponent is building Hydras, adding in siege tanks would be a great idea. As Hydras with range are going to do really good against Hellbats. They trade pretty well against Cyclones, too. +1 vehicle weapons on the way, and the 4th base of character, once again, was over here for a minute. Not really upgraded to anything. Character kind of forgot it was there, and it's going to die. Alright, well, GG. GG to that command center. HyperONE has knocked the Terran down to 3 bases while he's on, oh, I don't know, 5? Sure. Let's say it's 5 at this point, as this one is starting to come up. But mech is mech. Mech is not fun to reserve to play against. Dude, he's pulling the boys? Oh, look at the target firing on the Raven! Oh, HyperONE did the same thing. He target fired the Raven, although, they would have killed the Raven given another shot there because this guy is at 2 HP. But that allowed the Hellions and the Hellbats to roast up the Hydras because they are light. They do take bonus damage from these Hellions and Hellbats, but the saving grace of the Hydra is that they have the range upgrade, right? Which means kiting, they should be able to stay away from Hellbats pretty effectively. Hellions are fast, right? So dealing with Hellions is a bad time. Lurkers on the way, Neural Parasite, and a Hive. Okay, so HyperONE's decided. Let's just get to tier 3. Trying to deal with this mech, this new mech that character's rolling with. No sign of a Spire, though. I mean, obviously he's making Infestors because Neural Parasite's on the way. Fungal's usually pretty good in this situation. Yeah, see the Hydra's getting a ton of hits off before the Hellbats can close? That's exactly what they're meant to do, especially on creep. Ugh, Cyclone's coming down to the south. Pop, 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 pop. Uh-oh, Queens are dying. Cyclones don't do bonus damage to the Queens, but they do damage nevertheless. More damage than Hellions do to Queens anyway. Oh, man. Oh, Fungal gets tossed down. I think that was a total whiff. A scan to clear out some of this creep. Another Queen goes down. That's 9 Queens killed in this game in 15 minutes. Dude, Hellbats just wiped out a hatchery. They're on the rampage. Ooh, taking out this Nidus network as it's trying to get a Nidus swarm up would be amazing. Get the Nidus network before it comes up. No, distracted. Too distracted. Oh, man. This is turning into an absolute banger. And, whoa! HyperONE taps out. Character is your winner. He's just up 72 to 37 army supply, and the army's on this side of the map. It's got +1 vehicle weapons, +3 armor on these guys, making them way tankier than they are with 0 armor. The 1/1 Lings and Banes, no attack upgrades for the Hydras at all, just not enough. What was in this Nidus? I don't think he had anything in the Nidus. I think that was a fake out Nidus. Well, maybe he was planned on being a real one, right? He was maybe planning on these Hydras popping out and going in that Nidus, and then bam, Hydra's in your base. And there's Thors out here from character. Not good against Hydras, but with the better upgrades, maybe. Maybe they are good. Wow. Nicely done, character. Again, some mistakes on both sides, but that's mid-rank madness, right? This isn't going to be Beyond versus Serral or anything crazy like that. This is more Gumio messing around with mech against somebody like, oh, I don't know, Solar. HyperONE are going to compare you to Solar. Solar who just won a GSL, so congratulations. But, yeah, like I said, Hellbats, big time answer here. For character, the Cyclones, the damage output is good enough, even though there's nothing mechanical for them to attack. I just don't know how else to explain it. Oh my gosh, these Hellions are chasing down a line of drones. 60 to 48 workers, but sometimes having a million workers doesn't really matter. So yeah, I do feel like the answer here is going to be Hydraling Bane. Try to get the mech deep onto the creep. Get a surround on it, especially with Hydraling Bane, and you will wipe this out. Just without taking that many casualties at all. Fungals, I did see the fungal attempt. Fungals on this to prevent them from kiting you. Also, muy bien. Very good. Didn't really work here, but I love the idea. So yeah, this could have been a Zerg win, but I like the character, you know, had to lift off his 3rd base. He lost his 4th base. He didn't panic. He didn't GG out in frustration. He kept pushing. Kept macroing, spending his money pretty well. 200 minerals at the end of the game. And then just getting those upgrades, relying on those, some pretty good micro. And then, yeah, Hellbat Cyclone gets the win. Insane. Resources lost 16,000 to 10,000 in favor of character. 27 drones died, 24 SCVs died, mostly during Ling attacks, which I just want to point out again. HyperONE stuck on that Ling counterattack thing too long. He felt like he could close it. I get it. I've been there before in a ZV team. Like, I don't want to play mid to late games ZVT. It sucks. So I'm going to rush with Lings, and then I do a ton of damage, and I'm like, if I just make 20 more Lings, I can do this. And the Terran's like, no, you're running up my ramp, and it's just not bothering me at all, sir. I'm sorry. And then I die eventually like this. So, been there. Been there, done that. Okay. All right. Well, that is just going to be a GG then. Well done, character, getting the win. Again, props to HyperONE for sending in a loss. Always appreciated. And that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.